We've got a inside the contest. I think that's Kabam Jax. Oh, he's a lovely lad, isn't he? He's a lovely lad. That's Kabam Jax. What a lovely lad. Oh, you're a lovely lad. I'm so. You know, I just want to take a moment to say I am so glad that Kabam Jax is as lovely as a person in person as he is in person. So there we go. Oh, it's the boss. Do you know what? I had a feeling it would this would be the end, one of the bosses. So if you remember, we said about there was a reveal thing. There was this kind of like characters of the future was going to be a thing. So it's from this one right here. So we had an inkling that these two characters would be kind of like from this particular section right here. We kind of like knew like the not entropy, but the kind of well, it's kind of like entropy, that kind of character right there. And you got these two kind of characters here. So we got a Hulk version, we got a Black Widow version. So that's confirmed then. So that's the confirmed boss side of things. I have a feeling you might be replacing Gabe at some stage.
On September 14th. Karina's back, and this time she's trying to put the Shattered Avengers back together by burying old grudges between Iron Man and Captain America. Karina will have to team up with the Summoner and a brave new ally to unmask and thwart the plans of mysterious menaces bent on destroying both Karina and the Avengers. I'm excited to have Summoners experience the newest chapter in the contest, but for now, back to Jax.
Thanks, Max. Of course, 8.1 doesn't just mean a new storyline. Weapon nodes are a new addition that will give all defending champions on a corresponding path a powerful weapon to use against exploring summoners. However, each weapon node can be temporarily disarmed, exposing defenders to adapt with each playthrough. A new evil presence has infiltrated the battle realm and is quietly corrupting its inhabitants from the shadows. After being infected by this new evil's influence, Black Widow's mind and body become twisted by its terrible will, corrupting and transforming her into Cytalis, agent of Ouroboros. In addition to her powerful special attacks, will periodically leave mind and body become twisted by its terrible will, corrupting and transforming her into Cytalis, agent of Ouroboros.
Boroboros. Cytalis. Hang on, what was it again?
To Cytalis, agent of Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Cytalis, agent of Ouroboros. Hang on again.
This new evil's influence, Black Widow's mind and body become twisted by its terrible will, corrupting and transforming her into Cytalis, agent of Ouroboros. In addition to her powerful special attacks, Cytalis will periodically leave traps on the ground for unsuspecting players to fall into. Traps will root and immobilize anybody that steps into them, allowing Cytalis to move in for the final strike. Cytalis will also thwart players' attempts to deal large chunks of damage with her corrupted armor and the use of a powerful evade. This evade can be countered with precise timing, but grants her power every time she succeeds.
What? Oh, man.
This evade can be countered with precise timing.
Precise timing? Well, what does precise timing mean? Like, is that going to be, like, can you use true strike, true accuracy? I have questions. I have a lot of questions. Will you be able to counter as part of base ability? Tactical charges, Nick Fury.
But grants her power every time she succeeds.
Every time.
Players can look forward to facing off against Cytalis at the end of the chapter and formulating the best strategy to use her own traps against her. Now, let's throw things over to Mike, who's sitting down with two members of our dev team to discuss the newest additions to Battlegrounds.
I'm here with Harold and Tyler, and they're going to tell us what we can expect from Battlegrounds when they launch later this September. Guys, thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
So we made a number of big improvements to Battlegrounds before they come out. The first of which is a new progression and rank system. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so over the last several months, we've been working on this big
rank
feature
system.
to kind of revamp the ranking and the progression system of Battlegrounds. So for our launch, we're excited to add a victory track, is what we're calling it. And the victory track, when you win a match, you earn a medal, and players have to collect a certain amount of medals to graduate into the next rank. The player's primary goal is to try and graduate out of the entire victory track, and once they do, they'll end up in the gladiator circuit, which is a ranking system. So just like in Alliance Wars, you have to play against the most competitive players in that system, and then you'll be given rank rewards at the end of.
So this just basically turns it into like this kind of like competitive based system, which the Marvel Realm of Champions, any game out there's got like a competitive based system within it, and you're kind of like working. It's like Alliance Wars but on speed, and is obviously solo based as opposed to Alliance based.
Season based on where you're placed.
So this is really where we're going to find like the top summoner in the contest.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. So our players have lots of champions. How are we enabling them to use more of them and optimizing strategies for each?
For sure, yeah. This was a major piece of feedback that we got from our earlier beta tests, is that, as you said, players have a lot of champions. They want to use them all. So what we're going to introduce with the release of Battlegrounds is the ability for players to save multiple decks. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to allow you to take your current mastery tree and save it onto any one of those given decks. So if you've got your Mystic champions...
So for Battlegrounds, it automatically sets an apply mastery loadout. So Kabam have just confirmed mastery loadouts, but it's delivered to Battlegrounds as opposed to it being delivered elsewhere within the community. As in the rest of the contest. Slight yay, but also a bit kind of like, well, couldn't this be for all the game, please? On mastery loadouts?
Want to build a Mystic Dispersion mastery tree, you can do that. If you want to take your Liquid Courage and Double Edge masteries and put that on a deck, you can do that.
That sounds really awesome.
It is awesome, but I just would like this to be for everywhere in the game.
They don't really get to choose much of a strategy per deck. What are we doing for them?
Yeah, so
one
of the
could be good
biggest
for the
things we've
entirety of the
seen from
game's
player
tester.
feedback over the betas is that the champion charge system was very restrictive for those players who didn't have a very wide roster. And obviously, we want our players to be able to engage with the mode as much as they want. So we're happy to announce that for our launch, we're actually going to get rid of champion charges completely. So players can enter and play the mode
champion
as much as they want.
charges.
So another thing players have been asking for since we launched Battlegrounds, the first beta, is the ability to play with their friends. Are friendly matches on their way?
Yes, with the launch of Battlegrounds, we are going to have friendly matches. You're going to be able to take your friends list and your alliance mates and invite them to any Battlegrounds match. There's not going to be any energy cost, so you can play as many of these friendly matches as you want to.
Okay, that's awesome. Battlegrounds launching later this September. Can't wait for you to try it.
Delightful. Right, the final
Hello,
bit.
Summoners. I'm Stuart, here to give you your first look at the two new
Hi,
champions
Stuart.
coming to the contest this September. Through Dr. Doom's twisted science, this champ was transformed into a superpowered bully and formidable villain. She's constantly picking fights to prove just how strong she is, especially with her arch-rival, She-Hulk. Welcome to the contest, Titania. Hot on the heels of an epiphany of his calling in life, and with Tony Stark in a coma, Dr. Victor Von Doom decided to take up the mantle of the armored adventurer, becoming the infamous Iron Man. When designing Infamous Iron Man, I wanted to pay homage to Dr. Doom through the lens of the Iron Man. This is good Doom. He's still imposing, he still deals with threats the way Victor Von Doom would, but he's not as downright cruel. When playing as Infamous Iron Man, there are a wide variety of options depending on the situation as well as your playstyle. The Doom Heavy is back. Shock your opponents with medium attacks and go straight into your heavy attack in that classic Doom style. Infamous Iron Man has his own version of the Aura of Hazareth called the Aura of Iron. In addition to being triggered on his special attacks, his Heavy briefly triggers this aura. This can allow summoners to maximize the potential of his SP2 right out of the gate, and even power burn the defender down from their SP3.
What? What was that? That's amazing. Look at that damage. Hey, we'll go back. I've got to see this again.
Aura of Hazareth called the Aura of Iron. In addition to being triggered on his special attacks, his Heavy briefly triggers this aura. This can allow summoners to maximize.
So it's an extensive power burn, which if it interacts with the SP2,
and even power burn the defender.
Look at that. Look at that ticking in.
down in their SP3.
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
As an attacker, he controls the fight with copious amounts of power burn and special lock. He has one of the longest duration special locks that we've put onto an attacker
Longest duration special lock.
so far. Infamous Iron Man is a hard counter to champions like Bishop, who gain prowess very quickly. By turning prowesses into energy vulnerability
So he removes it and puts it into energy vulnerability.
buffs, he can melt through even the most resistant mutant.
Because let's face it, most mutants have prowess buffs. So the conversion...
He's also immune to the Incinerate from Bishop's SP1, and he can even block Bishop's unblockable attacks.
blocks unblockable attack. I don't know if that's just a mutant-based thing or it's just Bishop. Be interested to find out a bit more when the spotlight goes live.
I had a ton of fun creating the synergies for this champion with various Iron Men, the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and a handful of others. If you're a
Imagine
fan
what
of
he's going
the
to do to
Iron Man
Doctor Doom.
comic
That's
run,
synergy I'll
keep
be
an eye out
interested in
for some
looking
real
at.
flavorful stuff. I'm excited to see our summoners utilize our two newest champions. That's all for me. Sending things back to Jax.
Nice. Not that much on
That's all the
Titania.
news we have for you this time, Summoners. I want to thank our guests for sharing their insights into all the exciting new content coming this fall. What features are you most excited for? Sound off in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Jax, and I'll see you
Miss you,
in
Jax.
the contest.
If you've got champions that work well with Double Edge and Liquid Courage, you can save a specific mastery tree to that deck.
I thought there was more. Sorry.
Yay! There we go. That was good. That was some good info there. Oh, right. So this was. I don't know. I'll treat this as like this is recorded here on stream if I can download this and create this into a video. But yeah, this was taken from the Twitch live stream where we've got peoples that come out to interact with us. Hello, chat. If you're there, you're kind of like in the video and stuff. So yeah, fun. Act 8.1. Great. Mastery loadouts. A thing in Battlegrounds, not in the game. In other areas, so that'd be cool. And Kabam Jack's so nervous. He did look a little bit scared. But yeah. That was that. I'm gonna end that's video cut there.